Hey everybody, welcome to Brandon's Therapeutic Life. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As a matter of fact, tell me what color it changes. I just found that out. Today, I want to talk about the family calendar. Making sure that we are organized. Making sure that we're organized is highly important to the function of our household. And because it's important to the function of our household, it's what we use to guide. So this right here is where we keep the calendars. It's very central to where we both can access it with ease. You don't have to worry about it being locked up, and it's right here in along our kitchen counter. It's important because it keeps us grounded, it keeps us balanced. That way we don't have to play guessing games. When one person isn't available, we don't have to wait on each other to see, hey, what's your schedule? Hey, what's your schedule? We can just open it up, and therefore we have access to each other's schedule. And it makes the function of the house easier. Also, it makes planning easier. So the more that we're able to plan, the less stressful it becomes in trying to figure out who has to be where. We put our goals in here of what we want to accomplish, how we want to accomplish them, and things that we're working towards, and to make sure that we're getting through month to month. And so when we don't accomplish something, we get to go back and see what happened, what might have changed. So not only is it just a calendar, it's a communication station. And being that we're able to communicate clearly through written form, we're able to actually make sure that we plan well for the following months in case we didn't accomplish something that we want to accomplish this month. So if you take a look at some of our old videos, we talk about gardening. And we have to begin planting soon. Or pre-plant, pre-growing, seed grow.
Oh, planting for the garden?
Yeah. So we'll have to begin growing our seeds soon. And because we'll begin growing our seeds soon, we have to have that timed out in our calendar.
Hold on.
Because we have to have we use our calendars to plan, especially when it comes to gardening. When it comes to when we'll grow our seeds, when do they need to be in the ground by, etc., etc. What do we need? What materials we need? And so therefore, by having a family calendar, we're able to actually plan for it, start doing something, and we don't have to wait on permission for the other person, or wait on the other person and possibly miss a deadline because someone got busy and we couldn't maintain it all. So this allows for communication when we can't communicate face to face, or when there's a goal that we both came up with, and we could just check this for the status of our goal to see what was accomplished, and therefore we don't have to really worry about guessing game with each other or if we forgot something. So it allows for better communication between us both.
So one way I use the family calendar is to keep up with meals. I have a whole entire sheet dedicated to what to try to make throughout the week, but to lay it down for particular days, I usually use the calendar. That way I know to grab something from the store if we need it, pull something from the freezer to make it quicker, or to use up pantry items that have been sitting around on the shelf.
And I use it to keep up with her schedule. Mine is attached to my phone, and part of it's in here.
The other ways that we use the calendar is it gives us a good opportunity to track budget or track financial goals. For example, if you're trying to save $500 a month, you can use the paper form or digital form to do that right into the planner.
And then you can also understand, it gives you an understanding of why you didn't meet your goals as well. So it's a check and balance
Yes.
when it comes to our lifestyle, and it could benefit many people. You
Who are struggling for communication.
Yes.
So right here we have some fun stickers. There's more in the office. We use the stickers for a quick glance. If you see a backpack, that means our son is in school. If you see a star, pay attention, something special on that day. You can use stickers any way you want. You can use colorful ink pens and highlighters, which we use at our disposal. But this section we like to call Central Station, Calendar Station. That's where we put everything that relates to the household.
Relates to the household and where we need to be, and activities and planning and
everything. The grocery list sits right here in a plastic sleeve. For those who are interested, I can show this later on why it's in this plastic sleeve. Coupons are in there, everything, but it all stays here housed right in one location, and it makes it so much easier.
It makes it easier because we don't have to guess where it is, and so one of us out of the house, boom,
come in and put it in. Sometimes you're hanging out with friends, they're like, oh, let's meet up next Thursday. You can say, I'll pencil that in using like digital, they're using a phone, but then come home, check the calendar, and then you can verify with your friends. It's a great way to get out of something if you really don't want to do it. Also, you say, oh, I have to go home and check everybody's calendar. That's what this is. And then you could decline based off of whether you want that invitation or not.
And use your schedule. Oh, I'm busy that day.
Yeah. You can keep weather in here. We that's a plan for us for 2023. That'll be new for us, is to track the weather patterns, and that's mostly for the garden. So we know when frosting is ending, spring is coming. If it's a very hot week, how many times we need to water. So we plan on tracking.
What to plant, when to plant what vegetable. Right. As we have learned, we planted broccoli too late, and the bugs keep attacking it.
Yes, we're new to the zone, so we had to refigure things out.
A lot of things are new.
Yeah.
And this is helping us also progress forward, because it's taking what we learned in the past and helping us try new things, experiment with new times.
Right. Yeah. So we'll come along and show you how we fill this out.
Yes, and make sure you get a family calendar.
If you despise paper, there are some wonderful ones on the App Store that you can use, where you both can have it open at the same time, and you both can use it to track things that will interfere with the household. Now, if you're at work from 8 to 6 p.m., whatever you do at work, you may not necessarily need to go on this calendar, but if you share a car like we do, and you have to be somewhere at 7 p.m., when work day is technically over for you, you might want to use this calendar so that the other person doesn't book and try to go to opposite sides of town at 7 p.m.
Yep, and it has happened before.
Oh yeah, quite confusing, but which way that one car can go.
Or who's going to cancel, or how you're going to make it to both sides. Don't do it. Don't.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's always easier to check the calendar and move things around. So we'll go ahead and get this cracked open.
All right. What is it? What is it that you? What are you cooking?
So, leftover turkey from Thanksgiving that's been in the freezer. I went ahead and used homemade turkey stock, sauteed some onions. This is garlic thyme mixed veggies that we canned up back in April. So
sounds good.
It's already cooked. Everything in this soup is already cooked. So I don't need to do anything. It's a potato that's in here. I don't need to do anything but just toss this in and warm it all up. And then we had green beans, I don't know, 2 nights ago. So we'll add that in, because it was not enough for a actual side dish for dinner.
So this is our leftover soup.
Yeah, so I made homemade bread on Sunday night. So we'll finish that up. We have crackers, because sometimes we like crackers with our soup. So I'm going to bring this to a quick boil and then season it up accordingly to taste. All right, let's crack into the calendar.
All right.
Okay, step one. Okay, step one will be to bring in other calendars that you need to merge with the current calendar, such as school calendars, work schedule, vacations that's already booked for 2023, conventions, all that. Bring those out so you can combine them all together.
And then, yeah, you said it.
Okay, so the next thing you should go through is go ahead and mark off people's birthdays that are important to you guys. That way, there's no surprise. And anniversaries. So there's no surprise up front. So when you sit down and view your calendar at the end of the month, you view the next month, you can already see, like, oh, let me go ahead and get what I need to get or plan what I need to plan ASAP versus waiting to the day before or day of and finding out.
Or having to sneak up on you.
Yes, coming home from work and say, happy anniversary.
Quick way into the doghouse.
I could.
A dog.
Your mom's in. Okay. So every year we try our best to do a date night once a month. And it has worked out for quite a long time. And I would say for the last year and a half, it was very spotty. We were able to get it done mostly in the summer months.
Yeah.
Versus other months. But if that's the case, go ahead and pin in once a month that you know for sure that you guys can get away. Is it a Friday? Is it a Tuesday night? What day can you go to do something, even if it means sitting in your car with coffee?
Just disconnect from life and all the problems of life. Be purposeful in doing so. Because the more you talk about home on your date night, the more stressful your date night becomes, and you might as well stay home and argue.
Right. Any other fun things that you could think of if you guys meet up with a group of friends at a particular time? You can go ahead and pencil that in. Or you can ink it in depending on how serious you guys are about spending time together on a certain date or time. And
so anything that you already know that's pre-planned, put in your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
That way there's no overlapping, there's no I forgot, there's no incidental booking, especially when it comes to doctors, as related to doctor's appointments. Just pre-populate your calendar now.
Yes. We happen to have some stickers that say auto service. We stay on getting our car oil changed. We don't have to know the exact date, but there is a note section on the side of the calendar. And so we're going to go ahead and put it in generally every 3-4 months. We get an oil change before?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 months. So we're going to pre-populate that in to say oil change, and either we call and make a date for that particular month or the next month, but we usually get very close.
Very close.
Very close. And if you have to renew your tags, your licenses, and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and put that date in too, so that you don't miss your car tags or any other kind of registrations. Inspections, all that kind of stuff. Get it.
Last thing you want is a ticket because you didn't get your license plate renewed.
That's in January?
Yeah. February.
So being self-employed requires you to pay quarterly taxes. So make sure you mark that off the day they're due, and also write down any date or time that you typically meet with your accountant if you're not the one
Who's going to file your taxes?
Right, because you guys don't want to be late. As a tax accountant, it's really difficult when somebody comes to you like 3-4 days before the due. It's like, can you help me tally and pay? And it's a lot of work in such a short amount of time. So go ahead and fill that in. So, I think I used them all up. All right, so now that all the important things are filled in, all of the previous schedule items are filled in, if you lack vacation and family time, now is the time to get that done, guys.
And see what dates you can or are available and the easiest to travel for you.
Yes, pre-populate them. Even if you could only just section off part of a month or identify a particular month. For example, for us, we are thinking of taking a trip in September, 1st of September-ish. We don't have the exact date today, but that's the time frame in which we're looking. So we'll use the notes or priority section to pencil it in.
Hey guys, the wife and I, we were able to finish filling out our calendar. We were able to get all the dates filled in that we know about and able to start planning out some things that we want to do. Look, this is a really effective way to communicate, keep track with each other, make sure that your marriage becomes predictable. Remember, marriages thrive off predictability, and spontaneity can hurt a marriage. So I really encourage you to have a family calendar, use it as an alternate form of communication. You guys ultimately know what you are doing, you know what each other is doing, and therefore there's no guessing game or shock when it comes to an issue or something that you both have planned. So I encourage you to get your family calendar and keep it updated with your personal calendar, and that way you're always able to at least have some form of communication, even if it's not verbally. This will minimize the arguments in your household and to help you guys always keep track of each other without the guessing game. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Brandon.therapist. Click and like the subscribe buttons and make sure you tell all your friends about this video. So, can't wait to see you next time. Peace. It's your anniversary. Anniversary. And when we